Lisa from Casa de Greenlee Art. I am finally going to do a mixing video for you. I have my supplies here. I have my scale set to grams. I'll just bring it up. Okay, so I have my scale set to grams. I have my American Floetrol. I have my water. I'm going to be doing 3 different mixings for you. The first one is going to be in base paint in a large container. And for that I have my spatula. I have my gigantic tub of Amsterdam titanium white. The second one I'm going to do is I'm going to be refilling my iridescent blue-green by Pebeo in one of my 5-ounce bottles. The third one I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be refilling my bottle with my little piggy, this little piggy Pigments in Grenache, because you know I use that one a lot. I'm going to attempt 2 camera angles. When I edit this together, it may be a bit rough because I've never done this before, but I'm going to give it a shot. My mixing formula is for tube paint, I'm using 50% American Floetrol, 25% paint, 25% water. The Star, some tube paints need more water to make the right thickness. That includes the Amsterdam titanium white. That one is very, very thick, more thick than it is coming out of the tube because it's in a tub, and I think it air dries a little bit, but I think it's in general a little bit thicker, so I do use a little bit more water when I mix that one. For the powder pigments, I use Golden Soft Gel Gloss, and that kind of mimics what you get in a tube. So I use the 25% paint ratio of soft gel gloss, half a teaspoon, and I have that started because I start with a half a teaspoon and then I add more to correct the color saturation. The color in the bottle will not look this color. It will come out lighter because of the Floetrol, and so I sometimes add a little bit more. They do tend to dry closer to this color though. They just do not look this color in the bottle. And then 50% Floetrol and 25% water. So that is my normal mixing formula. This is what I do for every paint, and then just add maybe a little bit of water here and there. All right, I'm going to set up and be back. The first one I'm going to be mixing is a white base paint. I'm going to be using my 32-ounce container. I will link everything down below. I like this particular brand of container because when you get the lid on, you can shake it and it will not leak. I've had containers that I've gotten that it always leaks. Always, always, always. Never I could get the container on, you know, the top on hard enough or tight enough that it wouldn't leak. So I did go back to these particular ones, and I will link them down below. How I figure out how much paint to use and water is I figure out, go from ounces, transfer it over to grams. You have to leave a little bit of room in all of your containers, all of your bottles, everything, so that when you do shake it to mix it, you have enough room for it to shake. So I figure out how many grams it is, give myself some room at the top, and then figure out my 50, 25, 25 from there. So for these 32 ounces, I will be using, oh, and also, I'm hoping that you can see this, the numbers on here. You need to tar out, put your container on, hit the tar button on your scale. Always get a scale that has a tar button. So you want to zero it out. And then I'm going to use, for this particular, for 32 ounces, I use 400 grams of Floetrol. My Home Depot did not have any of their gallon containers, so they gave me 4 small bottles instead. I guess I should make a note of this. See this little cap on here? This is, I also get this off of Amazon. These are to strain out the goobers. You can kind of see there's a little bit of goober there on the top. This Floetrol does have a lot of remnant stuff in it, and you don't want that in your paint. So it has a nice little, you know, strainer on here instead of using a regular strainer. There, 405, close enough. And I'm going to need a new container to do my other one. All right, so you don't have to be exact on all of your numbers. You can fudge them a little bit. That's not a big deal. So I'm going to tar this out now, back to 0. And 25% of 400 is 200. So because this is, normally I would be using exactly 200 grams of paint, but because the white is so thick, I'm only going to be using about probably 185, and this was probably a bad example to use for this video, but I needed white. So I'm going to scoop out, I don't know if you can, maybe I'll put it over here so you can see it better. There we go. So this is just, you know, paint. It comes in a big tub. It's very economical, and I just start scooping it out till I reach about 185. Okay, 190, close enough. Put the lid back on this bad boy. Make sure it's down tight. I love these little plastic spatulas. I use them to mix paint and mix resin, and they are easy to clean and reuse. I do not reuse them for resin though. I do just throw them out because they just get so sticky. I just don't want to bother cleaning them. I do use my crocodile cloth to clean them up. Make sure that all the paint color is off of it, so when I go to mix black, I'm not getting white in the black and vice versa. There's a little bit of dried paint here, and the crocodile cloth gets it all off. So voila, brand new, perfectly clean. All right, now I've got about 189 of paint, so I'm going to tar that out and add my 200 of water. There we go. And go ahead and mix with the spatula first. I'll take it off the scale. With white, you're not going to be able to see me being able to mix this and see the mixing of it. But if you're mixing black, you'll be able to start seeing the Floetrol and the paint mixing together. Scrape off my spatula here to get off all the pigment that's stuck to it. And I'm already noticing it is still, whoop, you got a big glob of paint there. It is a little, well, no, it's looking pretty good. Okay, so I'm gonna finish mixing now with the spatula. Take my crocodile cloth, wipe it off, quick and easy. And then I'm going to put the lid on and shake the hell out of it. That's a technical term, by the way, shake the hell out of it. So I always tip this way to get all the paint and the Floetrol off the bottom. And then I mix rotating. And when you're doing a dark color, you'll be able to see how as you're rotating, the Floetrol is getting knocked off of the sides. And then I turn it this way and just mix and mix and mix. When I do my base paints, I try to do them the day before, mix them really good and let them set overnight so all of the paint, the tube paint has a chance to mix up and dissolve and get in there. So the next morning when you go in and you shake your base paint, you don't have any globs in it. If I tried to use this right now, there would be tiny globs because I could never shake enough to get it completely dissolved. So I tried to do them the night before. All right, time to refill my bottle of Iridescent Blue Green by Pebeo. I have just a tiny little bit left in there, but I'm going to stick to my 50, 25, 25 ratio because it'll fit in the bottle. So I'm gonna make sure that my scale is at 0. And for this, I'm going to be doing 60 grams of Floetrol, and I'm almost out, so I'll get to switch the bottle for you. Or maybe I am out. There we go. Yeah, it doesn't look like I'm going to be getting much out of here. About 13 grams. Okay, so this will be great because now I can show you the goobers inside the bottle. This lid can be, there we go, a little hard to get off. I usually clean this in between, but I don't have time right now to do that. So you see, I don't know if you can see, there's like a little bit of goober in here, and I'm gonna wipe that all out. It's very stringy, and it's like dried glue almost. And I'll wipe off the top here and put on onto the fresh bottle. Fits right on the top perfectly on the gallon and the small ones. So now I'll continue getting my 60 grams in here. And do this slowly so you're not overdoing it. There we go, 59. One more little squeeze to 60. I'm going to tar this out and do 30 grams of the paint. If there is, I might have to grab another tube of this. If your tube paint gets stuck at the top like this, you just tap on your table and it'll go right down. Might be able to just get 30 grams out of this. Yep, whoop, and a little bit came out. Tapped a little too hard. Oh, it's 30, but I'm going to finish off this tube so I'm not wasting paint. So I've got 34 grams. So because I've gone over, which is really great that I'm showing you this, I will put that much water in it. So since I've got 34 grams of paint, I'm going to do 34 grams of water. Tar it out. $36. I'm a little over, but that's fine. You don't have to be exact on these. Okay, now on this one you can see the Floetrol inside. Make sure that your lids are on tight and your little spout is closed. You can see the Floetrol floating around there. So on these I tap down on my hand and then shake the hell out of it. So now my Iridescent Blue-Green Pebeo is back to full. Now we will do the pigment. So with the pigments, because I do not have a base for them, oh, my unit of measurement got screwed up. Oh, there we go, back to grams. I use Golden Soft Gel Gloss. And since we're going to be doing 60 grams of Floetrol, we're going to need 30 grams of the soft gel gloss. I'll put that over here. So I use a little cup and measure it, and whoops, there's 12 grams, 16, 22, 25, 28. Wipe it off here. I should be at 31. So now I have 31 grams of the soft gel gloss. I will grab a new stick. Be careful when you're opening up your pigment powders because they will go everywhere. So this is what it looks like. So this I don't really measure, I kind of just scoop it. And since I really like this red, I'm going to go ahead and do 2 scoops to start with. And then very gently until it just gets mixed in with the powder. You can, I don't know if you can kind of see the dust coming off of it, but there is a dust. And there, now I'm mixed, so now I can go a bit faster and get this all the pigments nice and mushed in to the gel. And actually that looks pretty good for color. You know, let me close up this container and I'll show you. It's not exactly the same color, but it is darn close. Okay, now it's ready to put in the bottle. So I'm going to fill my bottle with Floetrol first. Do my 60 grams of Floetrol. Tar it out. Get the lid off. Here we go. Yeah, this lid really needs to get changed because it's all gooped up. You can kind of see the goop there coming through a little bit. There is 60 grams. Now you're going to get this into that little hole. And what I found is doing it little by little, and this is where tapping the container will become very important. Let me move the scale. And I will probably cut some of this off so you're not watching me do the entire 30 grams of paint in here. Okay, so I am at the very end of my little cup here. So I'm going to scrape out as much as I can so I'm not wasting anything. And get that all in the bottle. I do scrape the sides because stuff will come off as you're tapping. Okay, so now we've got that. I'm gonna wipe off the top of the bottle here. Otherwise you will get all that goop under your lid and won't be able to get the lid off. All right, let's bring the scale back in, tar it off, and do our 30 grams of water. Oh, it ended up being 34, but that's fine. Okay, put the lid on, make sure the top is off, see the Floetrol. And I rotate the bottle. Like I said, with darker colors, you can see them better. Rotate the bottle and shake the hell out of it. And this is another one with the pigments that you want to try to leave overnight because it will take a while for it all to dissolve. All right, that is my mixing video. This is how I mix all of my paints. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Like and subscribe. It really helps me out. Ring that alarm bell so you know when I'm uploading more videos, and have a great day.